and they're awesome. So, and that's the first time I ever heard it. I was like, oh, okay. And then like everything comes full circle.
I had been playing in a band, like a heavy kind of psychedelic punk band for a few years, and I quit that band and had been writing my own songs, and I guess I got really into old blues and folk and gospel music kind of because I had decided to start performing alone, and I just explored, the history and the possibilities of what that is, So like, anything from adapting songs from other people that played alone to just sort of getting a feel for what's possible as a solo performer. But even when I was doing that, I always thought of that as like starting a new thing that should become what we're doing. I met them both separately, but we knew each other for a while before we started playing together, and it just seemed like we understood each other and would have, before we even played together, I felt like we would have a musical connection.
He called me when I was in Kentucky when he was making Wandering Stranger and asked me to play fiddle, and I was stoked, so I went to New York, and he's been holding the mic for me ever since.
We met when Guy was in his previous band, started Entrance, and friends and fan and co-musician kind of throughout the years until all three of us sort of converged into this band. I don't know, it was like a kind of like a pretty natural sort of thing.
Like when you were in Chicago and you were doing all the solo shows?
I mean, that was pretty cool. That was a big part of me getting started performing on my own, because I had this really cool gig to do and it was really fun. And, like the guy from Cheap Trick would be there. I think I smoked weed with him and Neil Young's manager. Before that, I toured with Will Oldham. I was like, my second or third show by myself was on the West Coast with Will Oldham. I did a whole tour with him. Playing alone, it really started to develop when I started touring more, and that's also been really a big part of our development. It's like not just performing live, but kind of living together as a unit and being sort of like tapped into a group mind where we all vibe really well together personally and musically, and it's kind of all part of the same momentum of harmony. There's not really anything that we're playing tonight that's on another record, We're writing new songs and we're doing some covers that we've never done before recently, and it's kind of like a whole new wave of songs and direction of the band. But and we're kind of doing this residency of playing every week in order to have a steady way to work on new songs and play them live, and just keep just focusing on the new energy of it rather than doing anything people have heard us do before. Last record was with a major label, in partnership with a really far out independent label. And this, right now, we're totally independent and don't have any label commitment or anything. The record Prayer of Death, I released myself before we got signed with it, and so Entrance Records is something that exists. Yeah, I mean, my parents basically helped me put out 1,000 CDs, which was really nice of them because they're not wealthy. But if there were, I mean, I would be really into having a label, but it takes money to do that. So yeah, the other stuff we've done is just our own CDR bootlegs that are pretty easy to make, and kind of just an underground imprint. We're going to raise the money to make the record on our own through Kickstarter. Pretty soon there'll be a page. It's just called The Entrance Band is Making a New Record, and that would be what it would be on Kickstarter. But we're going to use that to raise the funds, and then maybe we'll put it out ourselves, maybe no. cool place to be in these times, to be self-sufficient and independent and make your own decisions. And like, it's hard to have artistic freedom and someone paying for you to do everything. So if we can find a way to pay for it ourselves, we'll maintain the artistic freedom that we have and that we don't want to lose. I think right now people are all like relating to that enough that they understand that, you know, really unique art might need the people that appreciate it to help create it, rather than someone with tons of cash who wants to control it. I like it better now that it's not like my name. People say, going to the entrance show, and they mean like to see us play, and they're just abbreviating it rather than being like, hey, entrance! Like, at first I was really into that, and then I was like, I want it to be like a word that represents this band and this project rather than like my like fake name. I've been trying to figure out exactly where it came from, because I think that I didn't come up with it. My ex-girlfriend actually came up with it, but it's just like a word that has some double meaning to it. You could say entrance or entrance. When you put those together, to me, it basically means entrance into a trance or something like that. I like the letter E a lot, like electricity, ecstasy, entrance, experience. It's like the name to me had like suggests a lot of things, but it's very simple. If you read into it, it refers to psychedelia, like it's like the same entrance that the Doors took their name from, the doors of perception. It's like the entrance of perception.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
If you want to be like Jimi Hendrix, be yourself.
That's it. Jessica is playing jazz.